This is exactly how I made $100,000 as a 22-year-old. Now that could sound like a lot of money to you right now, but let me assure you it is literally far easier to make a lot of money right now than it has ever been ever before. All you need is the right game plan and execution. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how I made my first $100,000 and exactly how you can too. It all started when I moved out of my hometown to Melbourne, and I ended up in a construction job that I hated, and I would drive to work every morning and think about just swerving off a bridge or something of that nature. And I was broke, I was completely discontent with my situation, and I wasn't happy. So I began to research money, how it works, what it is, who makes it, how to get it. Started to look into online business so I could start to make some money online. Came across some people like Eamon Gadzi, Luke Belmar, people of this nature. I tried to start an SMMA and that quickly failed because I realized I don't know how to run ads. I don't know how to find clients. I don't know how to sell people on my service. I had no skills. So I did a little bit more research about business and how you actually can be successful in business, and I came across high income skills. High income skills are skills that are highly valued in the marketplace and are essential to succeed in business. Things like copywriting, sales, marketing, these are things that help a business succeed. So I looked at these skills and said, which one of these skills best suit my traits and my personality? I was already good at speaking to people and building connections and forming relationships, and I enjoyed it, and I was very good at getting people to like me. So I looked at this list of high income skills and I decided I'm going to get into sales because I already like, speaking to people. I already like building those connections, and that's all sales is. Once I had decided sales is what I was going to do, I had to find somewhere to do sales. So I looked at all the different sales jobs. I went on, there's 9-to-5 call centers selling insurance or solar, and there's door-to-door sales. All of these jobs were still very rat racy, which is the opposite of what I was trying to do. I was trying to escape that, and I didn't want to fall back into that kind of trap. And then I got introduced to high ticket sales. Completely unfamiliar with what that was, I began asking questions and I started to figure out exactly what high ticket sales is. And I came to realize that all high ticket sales is basically selling expensive stuff online. So it can range from anything from solar, watches, coaching, consulting, anything that's about above $2,000, $3,000 is considered high ticket. And I realized you make a whole lot of commission by selling these expensive things, because if you sell something for $10,000, you get 10% of that just by being the person who actually brings the money in. And you don't need to have a business, you don't need to have employees, you don't really need anything except your voice. So I ended up saying I'm going to get a high ticket sales job. How do you even do that? I joined a few Facebook sales pages. I started commenting and posting, looking for a job and things of that nature. As I did this, I started to connect to a few different people in the groups. I ended up joining his sales company, and within 1 month I had joined his agency side, and I was working in an appointment setting role of one of the clients that he had on the agency side. This was probably the best decision I made because it really helped fast track everything. So if you want me to refer you to my sales company or any other sales companies out there, just DM me on Instagram. So I'm in this appointment setting role and I'm still working my construction job. And as I'm doing this, still hating life, still wanting to drive my car off the bridge. And my first week appointment setting, I made $600. I'm thinking, damn. $600. So I did this for about a month and I was making around $1,000 a week, which isn't really that much. It was enough. I quit my job basically as soon as I made that $600, and then $1,000 a week. I was paying a fair bit of rent. It wasn't that good. The situation was still a sticky one. But after a month of setting, I asked to transition into a closing role. When I started, my skills were not great, but over time I started to just do more volume than everyone. So I was taking more calls. I had my calendar more open than anyone. And then my sales skills started to develop quite quickly. When you become a closer, you need to be super resilient because there are so many ups and downs. And there would be periods where I'd make $300 in 1 week and I'm thinking I'm that guy. I'm like, okay. And then the next week I make nothing. I make zero. And then once you start to get your self-belief down because you're not closing deals, then you go through a slump and you don't get anything for a few weeks. And then as soon as one thing clicks, you start making a whole lot of money again. So you need to be resilient. You need to be able to be persistent and consistent. You just need to stick at one thing for long enough. You can't obviously shy away in the face of adversity. So the first month I probably made around $2,000, and then the second month $3,000, and it just kept going up and up and up. And then eventually I would say about 6 months in, I hit my first 10K. 10K a month, and I'm thinking, okay, we're cooking. Something's cooking here. And that was good. 10K was the big number I had in my head. I remember that was always my goal. And I moved back home for a bit and I wrote on my mirror, I've got a video of this, 10K a month by the end of 2024. Basically, my goal at the moment is 10K a month. And then I'm writing down all the things I have to do to actually achieve that. But like I said, I'm sitting here and I'm making a choice that what I want, I'll get that, and I'll do what it takes. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to do to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to live the life that I felt like I would live ever since I was young. I've got the deadest trim right now. Cut all my hair off. Hell, that's crazy. And I feel like I'm at a pivotal point now. I'm actually going to start living in a way which is aligned with what I want and what I desire. And these videos are going to get a lot better soon and a lot nicer. I'm recording this now on my phone because this is going to go in a video in the future to explain where my head was at when I was getting started. And shit's crazy. Future Marcel. I hope he's bigger than what I am now. It's still 2023 and I've been doing 10K a month for time, and now I'm doing 30K a month. So that just shows you the power of being intentional. But when I actually hit that 10K a month, although it was this big number in my head, as soon as I hit it, nothing really changed. And I don't think anything will really change for anyone who's got those goals. You get a little bit more freedom, but you literally enjoy it for maybe a couple hours, then you move straight on to the next thing. So how do I make 20K a month? How do I make 30K a month? I mean, I believe that is what it will be for everyone. So now I'm doing 10K a month with sales and I'm thinking, okay, cool, 10K a month. How do I keep this going? How do I continue to level up? I knew a lot of the people that I was closing for, they were doing coaching and consulting, and they were selling their info and their knowledge and their expertise. So I was selling their coaching or consulting and their information for them, and I was taking a 10% commission. So I looked at the best way to increase that is by maybe selling something of my own or using my own knowledge to leverage, maybe a bit more of an income. So understanding this, as I was still taking calls, still closing deals, still making 10K a month, I started to just throw a camera up and I just started making some content. I was just talking about my journey, my skills, my knowledge, providing value, and seeing where that got me. And literally within the first few weeks, I'd had 2 videos that had both gone over like 400,000 views on TikTok. I'd started YouTube. I'm posting this on YouTube. I've got like 520 subscribers at the moment. So I've only really been posting content for about 8 weeks and I've grown exponentially. I've got 15,000 followers on TikTok, and I knew that from all the clients that I worked on, they were taking advantage of the creator economy and just posting content. So I was posting this content, I was building my personal brand, and content creation and branding are high income skills as well. So I genuinely think the best 2 skills that you can mash together are sales and content creation. Sales gives you all the skills and all the articulation and the communication ability to make good content. And content gives you the audience and the community and the people that you need there, that you can use your sales skills to sell them information, knowledge, and things that are actually going to help them. I do not think there's a better combination. Money goes where attention goes. So if you can gain attention and get people to watch you and actually help people, and then you have those sales skills there to back that up, you have the 2 things there that you need to explode your income and actually start changing your life and other people's lives as well. I realized that the more views you get and the more eyeballs you get, the more money that you get. But not only that, the people that you bring in, if you can genuinely help change their lives, you make them money and you make yourself money, and you begin to build this community of like-minded people who are all successful. And now with the sales side of things, when you're in high ticket sales, you're on a client, right? And you're at the mercy of that client's marketing. If they're doing really well, you can be making 4K a week. Then if their marketing drops off or they stop posting videos, your income instantly goes to 0 with out of your control. It's no fault of your own, right? So that's why as a closer and as a high ticket salesperson, it is so important to have a personal brand and be able to generate your own leads. So now I'm generating my own leads, I'm closing those leads myself, and you put yourself in the position of power and authority. And this is very easy for anyone to replicate. All you need to do is learn a bit of sales, maybe start with appointment setting, land your high ticket sales role, post content about how you found that role, document your entire journey start to finish, and you build a audience, and then you can obviously monetize that with your sales skills. It's very simple. So once I started posting content and bringing in my own leads, I basically jumped straight from 10K a month to 30K a month. I don't even think I hung out at 20K. I think I went straight to 30K. First or second month I started posting content because I was bringing these leads in and closing these leads on my own offer. So if you're sitting there right now and you have no money or broke, this is what I suggest. Go get a sales job, whether it be door to door, whether it be 9 to 5. It can even be retail, any kind of sales job. Go get that. Use that to build up capital to eventually move into the high ticket sales space or get started as an appointment setter. Go watch my appointment setting or my how to find client video and use those to get an appointment setting role. If you do have a little bit of money, I would suggest doing the same thing that I did, which was investing in a mentor and a community and a sales company and an academy where they taught me the skill of sales, helped me land a role within a couple of months, make some money, and then teach others how to do the exact same thing just like I did. Now, pretty much anyone can do this. The key things to remember is everything is a numbers game, right? So whether it's in regards to the content or whether it's in regards to your sales process, do as much as possible volume. If you're not putting up enough shots, you're not going to get good enough. The reason I got so good at sales so quickly was because I was on more calls than anyone else. I had my calendar more open than anyone else. The reason I got good at content quickly is because I started posting 3 videos every day on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, multiple TikTok accounts. Post as many pieces of content as possible, as much as possible. Take as many sales calls as possible. When you do more shots than everyone else, you're going to get better quicker than everyone else. You need that feedback loop. The more you put out, the more feedback you're going to get so that you can go again, but go again better. If you're only putting up 1 piece of content or you're only taking 1 sales call a week, how are you going to compete with the guy who's doing 100 pieces of content or 100 sales calls a week? You're not going to compete at all. So if you guys want to get into sales, I would say 33% of you are probably going to be natural born killers, come in and just be able to close everyone. 33% of you are going to be kind of average, but you can learn the skill and actually get good over time. And then 33% are probably just not built for sales. You might be built for another high income skill. So this is for the 2/3 of you that can actually come into sales, learn it and crush. Now, another thing to note is that you should have urgency. You should want to completely change your life as quickly as possible so that you can enjoy it sooner, but you can also enjoy it for longer. If you take the next 10 years, you're only going to have like 30, 40 years to enjoy it, if that, because your body is probably going to be ruined. If you get there in the next year or two, then you're going to be able to enjoy it for the rest of your life. The only time I noticed any difference was when I got super intentional. I understood very clearly what I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. That way I could anchor myself every day back towards that and actually do what I needed to do. You need to write down who you want to be in 5 to 10 years so that you have something to anchor yourself to every day. So understand who you want to be, become intentional, and then become urgent in that approach. So step 1, learn a high income skill. I recommend sales. Step 2, post content about that skill, how you learnt it, how other people can get started. Provide value and gain that attention. Step 3 is use that high income skill, preferably sales, to then sell to that audience that you've built and change their lives as well as your own. If you guys do have any questions, you can just DM me on Instagram and I will get back to you. If you do want a chance to join my private community so that you can learn how to sell and learn how to build a personal brand and mash those 2 skills together, there will be a link for that below as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure speaking to you again very shortly.